Hey snipers, Pasta here. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I decided to make you guys a video, not so much this time about the educational aspects of trading cryptocurrencies, but about price action and what some people might call price predictions. So I'm basically trying to apply the different indicators that I've been making videos about and see if we can get an indication of where certain coins are going. I hope you guys like this different approach. Please comment in the video below. Recently I made a YouTube account, so I'll be actually able to reply to you guys. And the three coins that I would like to talk about are Bitcoin, Stellar, and Lisk. So let's get right into it. Okay, Bitcoin market cap $142 billion. And what we see here is definitely the two corrections that took place over the last 2 weeks. And right now we seem to be in an upwards trend from this latest low. Let's have a look at the chart. This is the one-day Bitcoin US dollar chart on Bitfinex. As you can see, I use Coinigy. Coinigy is similar to TradingView. It's slightly more developed towards cryptocurrencies, but I guess it's just a matter of taste. You know, which one would you like to have? Which car would you like to drive? So what we see here, let's first put in a, before we look at here, we're going to put in a Fibonacci retracement. By the way, I made a Fibonacci video not too long ago. I hope you guys like that video, or I know the ones who watched it appreciated it, and the ones who didn't watch it yet, I would actually suggest watching it. I will not be explaining Fibonacci fully in here, but what we see here is basically this decline in price. Fibonacci levels, basically the Fibonacci levels basically slow support and resistance levels here. So let's say we go to the 2-hour chart, zoom out a little bit. As you can see here, these Fibonacci levels were actually basically, I would almost say, proven. You know, it bounces off here, okay, so it breaks through. And here there's resistance at the 50%, and then we go back to the 61, back to the 50, back to the 38. So these are all points that show and basically prove that Fibonacci levels are definitely worth looking at. What you see here, by the way, is we try to break through this 38.6% level, and so far we haven't been able to. So let me remove this extension, extended lines, because what we see here is it looks like a channel is forming right here around these prices, and so we might just be checking testing this level, which is basically 9,800, so let's call it $9,000. This will be the next big resistance to break through. And if we look at the RSI, which looks to be going towards 40, and we look at the MACD that has crossed and is going negative, this could indicate that we might not stay in this channel. So let's add another indicator. Let's add the Bollinger Bands, because if 2 or 3 indicators, like coins that are below the 9 period EMA, if they are bearish, if the RSI seems to go bearish, this one's bearish, then you know I do want to have at least confirmation that we might not be making it up in this level. And so the Bollinger Bands, if we include those, then we see that we've been moving into the lower part of the Bollinger Bands, which is actually a bullish signal, which will make this more difficult to say where price is going, because prices tend to go from a lower part of the Bollinger Bands to a upper level. As you can see here, we go down in the lower and then we go up to the upper. And so right now I would have to look at a little bit more support levels, like from the past and from the recent past. because we seem to have one over here, and we had support over here. And so right now I would think that we're probably gonna break through the support level, and we're probably gonna go towards the $8,000 level. That's what my guesstimate would be. Once again, this is not trading advice, so I might be completely wrong, but you know, if I apply the indicators that I've been speaking to you guys about, then that would definitely be a thing to look at. So if you want to trade this, you know, it's probably hard to say where we're going, and we're in a downtrend. In general, you can say that Bitcoin is really cheap still, and this would all be buying zone. If you look at the technicals, then you might want to wait. You can wait until you reach the 8,000 level, or if I want to swing trade this, make sure I keep a close eye on the $9,000 level, and make sure that when there's a breakout, I have my buy, sell, and stop loss orders in place. So that's my my personal opinion on Bitcoin. Trying to test the 9,000 with support at 8,000. Let's go to Stellar. And Stellar has a market cap of $7.2 billion. And something interesting is going on here. What we see here is that basically around February 3rd, from February 3rd all the way maybe up to now, Stellar in Bitcoin is basically trading horizontal, while the price, especially here, has been going down. So to me, this means that Stellar is basically maturing, is becoming less dependent on Bitcoin. So that's probably a good thing, a very positive thing for Stellar. That doesn't mean that it will stay like that, but you know, this would be a bullish signal for me that its price didn't really move a lot against Bitcoin, while the price in dollar went down and basically was pulled down by Bitcoin. So that's an interesting thing to look at. Okay, so what do we have here? Stellar. As you can see here, I drew this support resistance level. I would call it resistance because it's the infamous, as I might add, 4,800 Satoshi level. When I was making analysis earlier this year, the 4,800 level was always a level where we couldn't break through. It didn't break through. It didn't break through. It didn't break through. Finally, it broke through, but now it was pulled down again with these recent corrections in the market. And as you can see here, recently, very recently, actually last night, we tested it again. So this is basically the toughest cookie to handle right now for Stellar, with probably a next resistance level at, I think, 52 and 5,800 Satoshis. Yeah, this is basically around previous highs. And then we have the 6,000 level. So these are going to be the main resistance levels. Do we have support? We definitely have support here as well. Maybe we should add the Fibonacci, just to have a look what happened if we went from this top to basically this bottom here. There we go. Let's make these a little thinner, because there we go. And so when we extend these Fibonacci levels, extend them, there we go. You can see here we were basically trading around the 38.2% Fibonacci level, and we are definitely trying to get back in here to the 4,800. If we add Bollinger Bands to this one, as you can see, we are going back into this area in lower Bollinger Bands, probably trading here in this 3,800 to 2,300 level before we make another run at this $48 not dollars, Satoshi level. So I think that's going to be crucial. If we remove the Bollinger Bands and we change the extension here, I want to have a clearer view on possible pattern that's forming. What we see here is so this is, I guess, interesting. I'll make it another color for you guys. Make this one green too. So it looks like we have a pennant here where we broke out, and right now we're falling back, and where the pennant used to be the resistance level seems to be now support. And that would basically, as you can see here, this would mean that this lower Bollinger level, that we might be trading in this area for a little bit before we actually go up again. The RSI in this case is neutral, I would say, around 50, slightly pointed down, and the MACD has crossed. Although it's kind of hard to say where it's going, because lately it's been trading sideways, and then the MACD is really hard to use as an indicator. Basically, you need more, how do you say, more volatility, more movement. One of the things that might indicate, and that's the last thing I will say about this, is if we add basically a trend here, or a price going down, but we have in a MACD, we have lower lows in the MACD. This means that this is a positive divergence and the price will be going up. Now, we saw the price went up, but it slowly went down again. So the question is if this positive divergence is basically strong enough for this price to go up again. Once again, we'll probably be trading in this area. Let me point that out. We'll probably go into this area here. Probably bouncing off this support, and the next step would be to test the 4,800 Satoshi level. So yes, once again, if you want to trade this, make sure you be careful with setting the proper buy, sell, and stop loss orders. And so this will be stellar. Finally, like to look at Lisk. Have a look at Lisk. Lisk market cap $3.1 billion, and it's coin number 14. And what we have here is basically, this is a daily chart with a 50-day moving average, as you can see here. And let's have a look at what the distance is, or the difference between the two. As you can see here, prices are almost 50% of the 50-day moving average. And let's have a look at some support levels first. Let me see. So we have, it looks like we had a support resistance here, and around here. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. See that? See this previous resistance level? It's right here. And then it looks like we had our levels set around here. And this one was one, and of course we had our previous highs, let's say around here. So these are different stages in which Lisk seem to be trading sideways, but slowly going up. If we go to a smaller scale chart, let's say let's pick the 1 hour. Maybe that's, these flags are, the candles are a little bit too small. Let's take the 2 hour. Okay, so what we see here looks to be that it broke out of an ascending triangle. Right there, broke out. Then it seemed to have been making two double bottoms, so to speak. So we went from this level to there, to there, to there, to there. Then it broke out, and what we now have seems to be, this might be a flag continuation, what we have here. Maybe I should definitely split to the 1 hour to make this more visible. And let's see. There we go. And this one. So we might be looking at a flag continuation here. Let's see if I can show that on Discord. For those who have never seen our Discord, this is basically the place where we share our information and knowledge with voice, with chat, with tools like the Training 101. And what we see here is the flag, or the flag continuation, where we have an ascending price, basically bouncing in this channel, and then after a while it no longer reaches this support. And so there's enough momentum to break out. And so we might be looking at that here. It's not sure, I'm not 100% sure yet. You could say that maybe we should make this one a little bit less steep. So we go in, we bounce off here, bounce off there, bounce off here. And so what I would do myself is keep an eye out on this level right here, what happens here. If we bounce off here, we just keep following this trend. Now if we go up here and we do not make this support level, then there's a decent chance that a breakout will occur. Now we have a slightly neutral RSI, as I would call it, around the 50 level, and a MACD, yes, is slightly negative. There's not a whole lot of difference though between the short and the long, the fast and the slow line. So we can have a look quickly at a 30-minute chart. What's happening there? Now, these signals seem slightly bearish right now. That means, and that would make sense because we're in a flat continuation. We might not drop back here. Although what you see here is we already went up, and so we might just be making this. Let me give you. So we might just be looking at this. Okay, so I would definitely keep my eyes out for this flat continuation, and like I said earlier in this video, if people decide to trade this, make sure you set the right areas for buying slightly above this resistance level. For selling, make sure you take your profits in time, and the stop losses for avoiding losing money. That's all got to do with risk management, on which I'll be making another video soon, by the way. So yeah, that would be it. You know what? I'm just going to add the Bollinger Bands just to see. Well, what we have here is we basically trade on the lower part of the Bollinger Band, which is also a bullish signal that we should be probably going up somewhere to the top level. So yeah, my opinion, not advice, my opinion is keep an eye out for this level on Lisk, and so basically let it mature a little bit more, and be careful with your trades. Well, that concludes my video. I don't want to talk about too many coins because then it'll be an hour video. If you guys like this, let me know. If you don't like it, please let me know as well. Thank you very much for watching, and all I can say is, snipers out.